how has your social media presence changed your home life?
Oh Lord, man. Oh,
And
I take that.
let me start off with D'Anthony on that one. Oh yeah,
Oh,
who say? Let me take it. Who wants
oh,
to
I,
go?
I,
Yeah,
I was gonna take that. I'll take that, James.
yeah, go ahead, James.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll take it
Run with
because
it, James.
I'll take it because growing up in the South Bronx, like my dad was my protector, and he would never let me go. With social media, I kind of opened up that world where now you know who my child is, and I can't always be there to protect them. And to me, that's kind of scary. So what it's done for me is that it's made me be more mindful and worry about what I put out there. Like, do I show my building? Do I show the car? Do I show where he goes to school? Things like that, because I'm honestly fearful of those things. Like I do shows like Tamron Hall and Good Morning America, and my friends will tell you I hate it. I hate doing those things. And I hate doing it because I can't protect my kids. I'm not with them 24/7. So what if somebody wants to get at me through my kids? Now they have access. So social media kind of makes me a little bit more worried about my parenting and teaching them the right values and how to stay safe.
Coming from a galaxy near you, this is Brothers in Booze. And here are your hosts, Greg Washington and Doug Ziegler.
Welcome to Brothers in Booze. What's going on, Doug?
Not much, man. Cheers to start off to our guy James, what we're doing this show for tonight. So
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yes.
I'm starting off with an NA. Little
Oh.
skip the snooze coffee stout from Athletic. So I saw it. I think Matt Strain had this, so I saw it and I wanted to get it because coffee stout. So cheers
Let's
to you.
go. Let's go.
Yeah, what about you, sir?
How was it?
Oh, it's delicious. It's not it's NAs. They aren't quite as robust as a regular stout, but I mean, it's still super drinkable and serviceable.
It's been a week, man, and it's culminating with me being sick. So, not COVID. We're good.
Yeah.
We tested all that.
Thankfully.
I'm told that you're supposed to drink brandy when you're sick, right? So, let's have a little brandy. Got my jigger here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, right.
Doug, do you use a jigger when you drink? Or are you just a heavy-handed pourer?
No, when I'm making cocktails, I use a jigger because I want to make sure I'm pouring them like how the recipe's made. Because cocktail shit is like baking. It's like
right.
You want it all to balance.
What about the shots though?
Oh, I don't do shots. Like
you just put it in a glass like this and just.
Well, I if I'm going to do something like brandy, I have like these Scotch glasses that are kind of you've seen them on the show. I've had them, or even like a little Glencairn glass, something like that. But it's essentially a shot glass that looks fancier. That's all. Is that a local distillery? Strawberry.
Yeah. They are local out of Cottage Grove, Wisconsin. It's just a really fun spot, Doug. If you ever get out here, we'll probably take you there because it's a fun spot. It's probably our favorite distillery around. Old Sugar's good too. We got a couple good ones, but they have all these different kinds. I got Afro Beer Chick, a watermelon brand, watermelon. Was it watermelon brandy? Something.
Mm-hmm.
You do all different kinds of nice flavors, and I know you like flavors.
Yes, I do.
Right. So, yeah, Doug, this is cheers to James. Yep. This as the title says, Brothers in Booze celebrates fatherhood is lit. We met James Lopez at Dad 2.0. Mm-hmm. James Lopez took a bad fall. I believe last year now. It's going on a year.
Yeah, so it's a little over a year. I think it was in January, if I remember correctly.
Right. And since then has been either in and out of the hospital and not doing well. So I wanted to kind of bring up the conversation about James again. He's been on this stream. He's never been on this stream, actually.
No, he was on to Meet My Friends.
He was on another stream that I did, and he's just a fan and a friend of the show. He's just a great guy. As you saw in opening, he's very passionate about fatherhood. Thus, Fatherhood is Lit. That's his brand. I will give y'all. Let's see. We got all kinds of banners here. But if you want to know more about his brand, Cool for Dads is his website. You can find everything and anything James Lopez pretty much there that he puts out on public. He talked about his public persona, and we'll get into more of that. We got some more videos for y'all, so y'all can know who James is with us, because he's a special guy and we love him. So there's that. If you want to get the merch, there's a Fatherhood is Lit merch. Now, I pretty much verified that that's a third party company, dog. So he doesn't need to do the fulfilling, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So if we all buy his t-shirts, it's not going to be a burden on his family to put the t-shirts out. Okay, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We had this. Remember we had that stuff with the brewery. Remember somebody went in and shot up. Of course, this is America, so everywhere. I'm sorry, it's going to be hard to remember which one, but it was recent one. It was Colorado, and then there was a brewery owner in there that stopped the whole thing.
Yep.
He jumped on like the guy, so everybody started buying T-shirts from him, Doug. And then they got overwhelmed and couldn't
fulfill all of them. Yeah.
Right. So then our friend Carla got on Twitter and said, "Yo, maybe we should just rethink about helping them in different ways so that we don't overwhelm them." And then people took that as bad or something, and then kind of went over.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm on this rabbit hole.
Well, it's just we want to help, and sometimes good intentions don't go as well as we want. So, yeah.
Correct. So, with that being said, that's on the bottom there is where you can get Fatherhood List t-shirts. Let me put that up on the screen because I need one of these, and I didn't have one, and now we're going to work on that. So y'all better get in there because I'm going to get in there soon. Let's see here where we at. Let's see. So presence over presence is one of James's big sayings, and obviously y'all are smart enough to get what he means. But with that, so there's that shirt. There are the Fatherhood is Lit shirt, which that one is mine when I get there later tonight. Right there. Doing that one. I love presents over presents though. The caps are sold out. They're dope. Got presents over presents U-shirts. Fatherhood is Lit U-shirts. So if y'all would like to support James that way and spread some good fatherhood messages in the process, there's that. His GoFundMe page is this. They're taking donations because James obviously couldn't be able to work on top of the medical bills. It's almost like a double negative, Doug, and you've felt this part recently, right?
Yeah, I was, obviously we've talked about my heart attack many times, but like I have good insurance, and even my good insurance, I still had close to $15,000 in bills from that. So yeah, it's there. I have no idea what they have for insurance. I just know they have 3 kids and 1 income, and that they need help. And this is a good. I'd like to think this is a good thing that we can help people. I know a few people have reached out to me and said that they donated anonymously after they saw my post. So thank you to those folks. And let's keep it going.
Yeah. And it's been a while, so I just wanted to. I thought this would be a good way for us to refresh the whole conversation with James, around James, bring it back to the forefront so people could see what's going on. If it wasn't for James, I would not be here. I'm just saying, I'm sick as a dog. And I'm drinking brandy. It's better. The brandy's pretty good. It's a smooth one though, and it has those strawberry accents that kind of take off that burn. If brandy has any burn, it takes it kind of off. So
that's good.
Without further ado, let's play another clip, and then let's get one of James's big supporters in here, and we can have a conversation with him. But let's do one more clip first.
I think social media or all of this also lets you teach your kids, where now they can see dad doing it. Where it's like, for me, it's all about the business and the legacy. So, I tell my son all the time, if I'm on Instagram talking and sometimes embarrassing myself, hey, you could do the same and people will still love you. So so it's actually pretty cool.
Love it. Love it. Be yourself. That's one of the things that James is, and that's one of the things that he strives. There's a couple more clips that y'all will be able to see that he's really, really authentic about who he is and who he represents. We'll get to those in a bit. But now we're going to bring on friend of the show, big supporter of the show. He's always tweeting about us, Doug. He's been on the stream a bunch of times. We met him at that too. Also, he's also part of our video stream that happens on Wednesday. Y'all probably need to go back and watch that one. That was a special one for many reasons, but you're probably going to hate. I don't know if you saw the best game that won that March Madness bracket. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I unfortunately was busy and haven't had a chance to watch it back yet.
It was controversial, and Eddie, our boy, was a big part of that mess. And Art joins us now. Yeah.
Cheers.
I had a big part too, unfortunately, Doug, but it's absolutely one you want to go back and look at. What's up, Art?
Cheers, gentlemen. Cheers to James and his family. Thanks again for doing this show, guys. Like, James is a real one, man. Like, he and I would talk to each other, have like hour conversations and stuff, and just talk about everything: sneakers, music, fatherhood, what we're up to, if we need help with anything. And man, when we got the news of like the surgery and then with the fall, it was like, man, we got to step up. So you guys doing this, making sure that it doesn't, go unseen after a while. So love it. And yeah, going back to the video game thing. Yeah, we might have pushed Rampage and some other things. I'm also a little hurt that Mortal Kombat didn't win at all, but what are you going to do? But thanks for doing this. And like I said, like this, fatherhood is the new brotherhood, right? And we've kind of bonded, whether it's at Dad 2 and just the streams that you do, Greg and Doug, and it just brings people together. And you guys are real. And what you see on these videos is what you guys are in real life. And same thing with James, man. If you need something, he'd help you out and all that good stuff. So nothing but love for him. I hope, him and his family are doing well. And if you can support the GoFundMe or buy some merch, go ahead and do it. If you're a sneakerhead like me, there's a lot of great shirts you can rock with some sneakers. So go do it.
No, I wish those caps were open. Those caps look dope.
Oh, yeah. Especially the dad hats. I can't, as a bald dude, like I can't wear snapbacks anymore because they leave like a little indelible thing right there.
Yeah.
For like 2 days later.
I can't pull off the backward hat. I just look like a ninny with a backward hat. So like kudos to you for being able to rock that. I can't rock that at all.
That has to be my look, man. I think you can do it. Yeah, well, it's funny with hats, like just like everyone has different personalities, different hats, like you got to find a good hat. You got to find like whether it's flex fit, whether it's a trucker cap, whether it's a snapback, whatever, a fitted hat. You have to go through it. Like you have to make sure it works because everyone's got different heads and like each hat is is specifically designed for the perfect head.
Which mine is not. Hey, we forgot to ask. You cheers for James, but what was the beer you were having there?
Oh, I am drinking. Let me go get it. Sorry. Kona, Big Wave, Golden Ale.
Look at that. The second week in a row. It makes an appearance, Doug.
Yep, second week in a row. Must be I haven't had that in
forever.
What were you gonna say, Art?
No, I appreciate you, Doug, rocking the Athletic Brewing Company, man. That's great.
Yeah, that is this is actually from their Charlotte location. So
nice.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to comment on any of the clips. I'm pretty sure you saw both clips that I painted, James. I don't know if you want to comment on any of that. All right, you can roll.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say, like the one where he talked about, making sure that there's that fine line of talking about fatherhood, but also like how much you're going to talk about your kids, right? And that I think is he's thinking about everything from kind of like the rear view mirror, right? He sees everything on like what is good, what is bad, and about the social space. And I think what he's doing is great. He's raising the bar for dads to like match him about being an all-in dad. But then also too, it's like, all right, I got to respect my kids' privacy and I got to respect my kids as they get older. Do they want all this stuff? Do they want their images on certain places? I've talked to dads that are in our space, right? And they're like, "Nah, I'm good." Like the kids would be like, "I'm good. You don't have to put me in there." So it's good that he sees that balance where it's like, should I have it in there? Should I not? And that just goes to show you how much of a caring dad he is, because he's not going to do stuff without his kids' consent. And how awesome is that? Like showing consent to your kids. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
I mean, but
were you gonna say that?
I was gonna say we've talked a lot of in here about the idea of like as your kids get older and you give them consent to be able to talk about them because they're involved too. So like James is on that from the giddy up. So
Yep. And on that note, we have somebody else ready to join us. We have a whole bunch of people ready to join us.
yeah.
No, we can do the whole Will Smith Man Black.
Hello.
Hello. This is
Oh, look at that! Look at that! We're not all in frame.
Hey,
welcome,
how you
guys.
doing?
Oh, there we go. Move on over.
Look at that.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
What's going on?
Hey, that is the
That's right. We just
National
look at
At Home
that.
Dad Network Award, Doug, I believe.
Yep.
And that was the National At Home Dad Network Award.
Their connection is stellar there, apparently.
Right. So we will.
Too much awesomeness in one room. That's like it's breaking the internet, right?
I think you're right. I think they would have just busted our whole stream apart.
When I see JHG get back on here, I will lift them back up here. Okay, here we go.
It's gone plaid.
There we go. What's up? Well, money.
Look, y'all coordinated those shirts. Look at that shit.
Look at the coordinated shirt.
Right
Look
there,
at
right
that.
there. Yeah.
Look at that.
There you go. Yeah. Finally. Lift that shirt up.
I can't get a shirt.
I don't know that we've had the entire board together like this and on video.
I believe that is true. Greg could confirm that.
Now they can start issuing the warrants.
So, Greg, we think that this is the first time we've ever had the board together, all together at once and on video at the same time.
And with the same shirt.
And with the same shirt. That's right.
Yeah. Yes.
Coordinated.
We're a gang now.
The actual, like,
Yeah.
all the same.
We're a gang
Yes, I
now.
can confirm this is a unique moment in time.
It is.
Wait, baby.
Well,
We're gonna call our gang the Squares.
for those who are watching and wondering, we are in Milwaukee. We're here for our board retreat. It's one of the few times that we get together as a group and we do some really hard work for the organization and for at-home dads. And we thought, what better place to have our retreat than the place we're going to have our convention in September, the third week of September, in fact. And but tonight we're checking out the 3rd Street Market Hall, which is this multi-eatery entertainment spot in downtown, and it's pretty awesome. We're going to have our convention eve here, and but we're here for a different purpose, aren't we?
Yeah. How many? James has been to 3 at-home dad cons. I've been to 1 with him, but he's an alumni, and he's been there multiple times. Yeah, he has
Talking
a
about
proud
James being
affection.
At
Yeah,
the
he is.
convention
he-
multiple times.
Yeah, he loves y'all. He loves y'all.
Yeah.
He loves
Yes.
y'all. He
Well,
loves
we
y'all.
love him back. And so as an organization, we are going to give $5 to his fund.
Cut out
Could you repeat
JHG.
that? Yeah, could you repeat
Yeah.
that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, you cut out at the
Oh,
wrong time.
right in the middle of the drama.
Right. It was like,
Right.
what? Right.
So,
Right. Okay,
take
I'll
two.
check.
Take two.
Take two.
Go.
As an organization, we are giving $500 to James's fund.
Thank you.
Great job, National At-Home Dad Network. Great job. Thank
Well
you.
done, gentlemen.
Now,
That's support.
wait,
There's more.
but there's more.
There's more.
The org is going to start a fund in James's honor for families who are impacted by an at-home dad having a critical injury or some other thing that impacts the family. Since we are a family first and dad-centric organization, we felt it was important to provide something that gives a bit more than just a one-time donation to one dad. So we know how hard it can hit a family when they get impacted by someone getting injured, especially the way that James did. So.
Are they cutting onions?
I'm
at Greg's house?
speechless.
I thought I saw him from here.
They're speechless.
I'm speechless. Doug, do you
Greg's
have something?
speechless.
Because I don't.
That's saying a lot. Greg, are you cutting onions at your house there, buddy? I see you it's all dust and everything. Are you cutting onions at your house there, buddy?
Not
Me?
me. Not yet.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a little sick also, so that may be it. And I'm drinking brandy. So
Oh.
it's kind of.
He's
There's a lot
sick and drinking brandy too. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh,
there's a
well,
lot of things going on.
You got to do that.
But Doug, do you have anything to say to that,
Best of
Doug?
an illness is more alcohol.
No, that's just other than that's just a lot of awesomeness all at once that I'm sure they'll very much appreciate that for both things. So thank you, National At Home Dad Network, for coming through like that. Cheers to that.
Any of y'all want to say anything to James, or because I know he's going to see this?
Did anybody want to say something to James? I can take
I
my
wanna
head.
say something.
I can take my hair.
Can you guys hear him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. So, sir, I was one of the few last people to speak to James, and James and I had a lot of plans for this convention. We're gonna room together. I remember James is a fellow Puerto Rican. We share a lot of our culture together. He went back to his home, to Loiza, and took his kids and his wife there. Spent some great time. And in a conversation about fatherhood, we had a week before his incident. We talked about what if something happens to us as fathers. Sometimes we stay away from that topic, and I think in our conversation, we came across one of the answers is give it all, right? Give it all in case we're not there. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart and my family, all the board members, James, you're important. You're a trailblazer for what you've been doing over the years. One of the first people to extend a hand to me. One of the first people to say, hey, we look alike. We speak alike. It's okay to come over to this group. It's okay to, talk different, be different, because it's all about fatherhood. So James is a very special. I consider him my mentor, and I love him very much. So James, we love you. We're here for you. And, this is just the beginning of many great things that you started, James. So, un abrazo, mi hermano.
Cheers to that.
Look at that.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Yeah, y'all like making me cry here.
Oh, that dust. All that dust. Yep.
I remember James just having a blast in Cincinnati and just basically talking with him to getting him there when I was planning that out, and he was just so excited to get it go. And I'm just, for me, like, this is going to be, and everybody here is going to question me on this, but this is going to be my last time on the board for quite some time, honestly, because of just life. But Danny, hush. But honestly, like, I love the fact that I was able to be a part of this board when the decision was made to set up this fund for dads that are in a situation that is just super difficult for families, and to be able to really just make this organization that much bigger. And so, yeah, I love it. Like, and I really hope that James feels the love. I hope that it actually, like, gives his family some extra energy. And yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm speechless to just the situation at hand, because it's so hard to, not be around him and his family while this is going on, but to know that we can at least help from afar.
All right. All right. Anything else, guys? Because seriously, we're all still
I don't
kind of
think
floored. We're still all
don't
kind
think
of
so.
floored over here. Oh my God.
I say, just
Well,
let James know that we love him and miss him. Yep.
yeah, thanks for giving us the time and the space to share, and all our love to James.
Yep. All right, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate all that you're doing and all that you've done, and I'm sure James and his family appreciate it too. So thank you. Cheers to you guys.
Yeah, man. Cheers. Cheers.
Let's do it.
Well done, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
And
Thank
come to
you.
Milwaukee
Thank
for
you.
DadCon.
I want to see you there. We'll see you there,
You
Greg.
pretty much bought my ticket
Right,
with
your
this, y'all.
Backyard.
Yeah.
I want to see you there.
You bought my ticket with this.
Yeah.
He's like,
I love you, G. I need to see you, man.
Right. All right. All right. Y'all bought my ticket with this, man. Y'all did. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Have a great night, y'all. Be good.
You too, guys.
Be good.
Never. What is that? That's what we tell our children, not us.
Really?
All right.
Have you met us?
Thanks, Dad.
All right, you nuts. Have a good night, guys.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I really.
Cheers. You know what I meant.
Cheers.
All right. Thanks, JG.
Have fun, gents.
Yeah, not a problem, man.
All right.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Bye.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Damn. Damn.
Yeah, that made me a little misty over here, man. That was amazing.
Yeah. Any thoughts
It just
before we
goes to
bring
show
up our
you.
next? What's going on, Art? What's up, Art?
Okay.
I was
What
gonna
you
say,
gonna
just
say,
goes to show you like how many people care for this guy. That everyone's coming in, saying stuff, donating money, making what those guys did right there is fantastic, and you can tell how much James has an effect on us in a good way, right? We love him, and to see this is just awesome. So there's a reason why we all care for him. He's a real one, cares about his kids, and he cares about this community. So it's amazing.
Absolutely. Yep, and we're gonna give two shout outs. One to Matt Snyder, who put me in touch with James's family this week, and that was really nice of Matt. He could not make it, otherwise he would have. He's very sorry he can't make it, James. So I want you to know that. And the same goes for Matt Pressberry, who I can't. There's not been one person that I've gotten more emails and texts and messages about James than Matt Pressberry. Matt Pressberry is going through a little bit of a rough time now and couldn't join us tonight. But James, he sends his love, and I'm telling you, man, he's been the most persistent person in my inbox about your situation since it all started. So Matt Pressberry sends his love to James. I just want you to know that. And so does Matt Snyder, and so does many, many others. Someone else who wants to send his love is our friend Chad Milner. Now, I don't think I've ever met Chad. Art, have you met Chad?
We met once at I think a dad conference.
Yeah,
Cool.
I met him once at a Dad 2.0.
Oh, okay. I know. Yeah, we might have glazed on each other, or y'all know how these things go. Sometimes sometimes you're at the damn conference with 2-3 times, and you're like, man, our paths never crossed. But here is Chad.
Yay, Chad!
Chad, you're on mute, buddy. I think I can.
There
take
we
you
go,
off.
fella. Take two.
What's up, Chad? How you doing? Nice to meet you.
How you doing? We
What's
did
going
meet
on?
at Dad 2.0. I just I feel like I know everybody knows me and I know everybody, but in person I'm a ghost.
Okay.
And it just so happened the one time that I made it to a Dad 2.0, the next week COVID happened.
Yep.
So you were at that one.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, just side note, even in that, like, it's really funny just how that and just God works, because I took a flight from New York to DC, and I was like, this COVID thing, and I saw people in masks, and I was like, oh, it ain't that serious, guys.
Yeah. Little did you know.
Yeah, that
next week
did not age well.
Yeah. Now, you know what? I'll say this as a dad. as a dad, I was real pissed off those first 2 weeks of COVID because as a dad, I'm a basketball coach. So that year, like my nephew's team and my daughter's team, like the championships for both teams was that weekend, and we never got a chance to win. And that was the end of my coaching career until I have other kids.
Oh.
You know, they older now, so they, you know, they're at the age where they got real coaches, you know.
Right.
The transition.
Right.
Coaches that get paid.
Right.
And everyone's got a personal story that, you know, kind of that wiped you out on COVID. But Chad, I don't know how long you've been here, but if you would like to comment on any of the clips you saw, I don't know if you played a couple clips for James, and I got a couple more too that we'll get your comment on.
No, I hopped in being a dad because like my daughter's got her first play rehearsal for middle school. So I was like, 9 o'clock, Dad, I need this tie and this iron. All right, you know what? I said I got somewhere to be, but you know what? I wouldn't be doing this podcast if I wasn't ironing shirts for plays, you know?
Right.
But
Austin Dad talk a little bit about man.
You know, but I know we here for James. So
yeah, you want to talk a little bit about James, how you met him, his influence on you, all that.
Okay, well, I'm story time guy, so like, you know, it's kind of how I built this little thing here. So James I met through Jeff, and I met Jeff. First of all, Jeff Tepper was literally my first follower, and was like, yo, and shortly after I started my blog in 2012, he was like, I got you. And that's how I became like, I think I might have been like number 12 member of the dad bloggers group, but that was because of Jeff. So like when I was working on, you know, my docu-series Superman with Tim's on, and I needed somebody from every borough. And I said, Jeff, as a New Yorker, I don't know anybody from Staten Island, but do you within our dad group? And really quick, he said, yeah, I know this guy, James. Oh, okay. Like I said, you know, I be knowing people, but since I didn't go to these things in person, you know, eventually I'm a ghost, you know, but so immediately we hit it off, and I went to Staten Island and we shot. And we just became friends because we had a lot in common. You know, he's, I want to say maybe like 3 or 4 years older than me. But since, you know, my docu-series was me, which was just hip hop and, you know, fatherhood, what happens when that generation grows up, you know, we became friends. And just throughout time, you know how James is. He periodically checks on everybody. But, you know, like even going to the Dad 2.0 that I finally made it to, it was because James was pushing me. He was like, look, go. And I was like, look, man, money is funny. He said, if I got to get you a scholarship, that ain't just get there. You know, like just as soon as you say yes, I was like, all right, James, I'll be there. You know, and then like, so fast forward, that's how I wound up doing like Gary V stuff with him, which wound up working out later in life. But like last April, I guess it was April, I was going out to an event with some friends of mine, like my former barber and stuff like that. And it was Paul Wall and Terminology's album release party. And because when I got there, as soon as I saw Terminology, I had to say, excuse me, like, I just have to let you know my name is Chad and James Lopez is my guy. You know, because anything that James did, he made sure I was a part of it. So at that point, you know, I just forget that you rap and everything, just on some dad stuff. James is my guy. So he gave me like a couple of good dad gangs hat. Like in the middle of this party, there's girls there, all of that. But even in that moment, yo, fuck all that. We here to, yo, dad stuff. And we took picture, and I took a picture, and I sent it to James the next day, because at some point, just in being what I do, like he was like, you know, paths are gonna cross. So I sent James that picture the next day and was like, yo, I finally met your friend Term. And he texted me back and he was like, oh, that's great. I just had surgery on my yesterday. What? Yeah, I had a brain tumor. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Really? So had it not been for me name dropping him and just on some fatherhood stuff in a completely different related industry, I wouldn't have known about the tumor and any of that until it was too late. And I'm glad that at least I got to have that exchange with him before the fall and everything. Like, so that just in itself is a testament to what not only what James means to me and all of us, but just how much this thing resonates that we've just had here. That, you know, another dad in the fatherhood community, we're all just linked, you know.
Strictly for Cuban links. Sorry.
Exactly. Exactly. Ironically, Staten Island.
Yeah, true.
And Chad, you say his name and he shall appear.
Bam.
Oh, there it is.
I was just going to lurk on the side tonight, but I saw Chad in there talking, and yeah, so that is true. And the funny thing is, you guys had Scott Beeson on last week. Scott was how I found out about the group, and then right after that, Scott and Chad were the two people, like he said, we went on WordPress because I have a dad blog. I'm going to find the other dad bloggers and connect with them. And I didn't know about the Facebook group, but I found through just searching Chad and Scott. And then I get this Facebook message, private message from Scott saying, check out this group. So I send it to Chad, check out this group. And they both went on to successful things. And I just got bored and tired of it and wasn't good at a blogger, so I stopped doing it. But yeah, so that's the story.
I can relate.
But yeah, no, Chad's doing amazing work. I love what he's doing with the It's Always a Girl story. Maybe we can get into that sometime. But
absolutely.
Yeah, and music too. He's on, if you follow him on Instagram, his story, he's always like digging for a new sample or making a new beat or coming up with lyrics or doing something. And yeah, it's just amazing to see. So but yeah, so I'm happy that I could make that connection. I'm happy it worked out to have him on the show. Yes, you needed somebody from Boston to introduce you to another New York guy, but that's how it happened. So yeah, we made it work.
And you know what? That makes it the funniest thing about it all. It's like, I mean, I'm a Boston guy. Yep.
A Boston guy who now lives in Texas. That's even weirder, right?
It's even nice to see that the two disparate parties of Boston and New York can come together and
come together. Look at that. James is all about unity, for sure. And
all about unity.
So Jeff, the floor is yours, man. How do you know James? What influence has he had on you? And yeah, if I get off, you know why I'm off. Sorry. I'm in and out.
Better, man. I was there last month. Yeah. I had COVID and then something else right after it last month.
Well, it's not like I'm going to say, "Hey, Jeff, talking." I'm going to get out of here. So
I get it. Yeah. So I too came across James through the Dad 2.0 community. I forget if I met him online first or in person first, but you know, you guys all know this. Hip hop is more than just music. It's a culture. It's a community. And when you see someone with that like-minded energy, you're gonna, you know, naturally connect. And so that was what it was for me and James. You know, just a prolific guy. But the thing is, like, I think Art, you said it so well, that we all have this story about James. So it's not like he had one best friend, right? And that was his guy, right? It's all of us. He touched us all in such a, you know, an amazing way. You know, the other thing about James is his authenticity. Like we talk about branding, and there's a song by Mos Def. It's called Sunshine, and he's kind of shitting on the idea of brands. He's like, I give a fuck about what brand you are. I'm concerned what kind of man you are, what your principles and standards are. But for James, it didn't matter, because James's brand literally is his principles and standards, right? And so being a dad to his own kids, you know, creating opportunities for other dads, right? And then inspiring us. So James has no problem in that area. Maybe branding isn't a popular thing to shit on in the Dad 2.0 community where, there were probably some workshops on that at the past Dad 2.0s, but no, but more seriously, that was it for him. So, but we stayed in touch. We have a Facebook group called Hip Hop Pops, and his energy is missed in there for sure. But James, like we said, he had this impact on all of us, but also he would be the first person to do something like this for any of us if any of us were in the same situation. So
Absolutely.
I hope everybody gets on the GoFundMe. None of us are billionaires or whatever, but let's donate what we can. I just made a donation tonight too, in addition to the one I made last time. Yeah, I hope Kim gets a lot of emails. I'm assuming there's an email that comes when somebody makes a donation. So let's hope she gets a lot of emails tonight, and let's just keep it going, because like I said, he would definitely be the first person to step up and do this for any of us if we were in need in that same way.
Well said, man.
And I have the proof right here. I got 2 clips of James here, and this is how I knew before this. But what these clips are from the Black Founders Foundation. And we had these roundtable discussions during COVID. It was one of the things that we put on during COVID because we had a lot of time. And this is probably one of my favorite James clips of all time. But also, though, I haven't been through his podcast, where he has over 100 podcasts, y'all. You can get that, and it gets 5 stars on iPod or Apple Plus or Apple Radio or whatever, or I'm sorry, iTunes, and nothing gets fucking 5 stars on iTunes. So you can find those on Cool Dads, but this clip here is James 100%. It's who he is. It's why we all love him.
I think you hit it perfectly, D'Anthony. Like, I think that's what it is. Like, we all have our own ways of contributing, and they all matter, right? Yeah. Because, like, me as a Spanish guy in technology, I'm able to go to these startups and go to tech companies and tell them, hey, man, like, this might be bad business for you. It might not line up with my pockets, but I'm not going to work with you unless you got somebody of color on your executive team. And that just didn't start yesterday. I've been doing that for the past 10 years. Mm-hmm. And that'll put you in an uncomfortable place where now that people are looking at you funny because you're going to tell them, yo, if I don't like your team, I'm not working with you. That's it's very inconvenient for a lot of people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we all do it our own way. That's my way of fighting, where I could go and tell the white guy that's running a VC firm, yo, I don't want to work with you, bro. I know that $50,000 could help me, but you got nobody on your team of color. You got more dogs and cat pictures than you do of people of color. But that's okay for me. I don't expect everybody else to do that. You know what I mean? I'm cool with calling them out and telling them, yo, I don't want to see Buddy no more. I want to see my man's there. You know what I mean? But that's what's comfortable for me. That's not comfortable for everybody else.
Man, it was great to see his face and hear his voice just now. Like, that was great.
And that's the principles and standards, right? That's what he's about. He said something similar I think he hosted one of the panel discussions at that Dad 2.0, and it was all about bring your own chair. Like, no one's going to give you a seat at the table. Fine. I don't need one. I'm bringing my own chair, right? And I'm going to come in, and he did that in so many ways. I know he was also a City Dads guy, and we tried to have this thing with Home Depot. Home Depot had these little these workshops where you could bring your kid, and they would give you the materials and you would put together. And I did it in Dallas, and 3 families in Dallas showed up along with all the other people. James brought so many people to the Home Depot that was only them. He shut down the whole Home Depot just with his people. And, they had to have their own day for just the fatherhood is lit, New York City dads, whatever he was bringing them under. But that was him.
And that too, what he said in that clip, when we would talk about certain things, like especially after February, we talk about like brand deals and marketing and all that stuff. He's like, past February, man, no one's coming to me. And then it's like January, December, like, hey, you want to work together? Oh, just in February? Why can't we do it all year round? Right. And like, he doesn't put that on for show. Like, that's 100% real. It's 100% him. and he's always looking to raise the voices that maybe people don't hear all the time, and it's amazing. I love that for him. He cares about everyone from all walks of life, and he will make sure you're included if you're authentic and you're real. And just that clip, like sometimes there's like the online persona, and then there's the real life persona. He's both. Like everything you see is real in person, and what you saw right there is 100% him, and I love that for him.
And he would actually say that in a board meeting too. He didn't just say it on the podcast, right? He would say that in a board meeting.
So we have
his. Oh, go ahead.
Go on, Jeff. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying his podcast was like he had a lot of guests, but the other thing is if he just had a thought, sometimes he would do like a 10-minute podcast on like, here's how I want to help my kids manage money or whatever. And then he had longer podcasts with a guest, and terminology was one of them. So yeah, that kind of completes the circle. Terminology is actually from Massachusetts, and I got to see him perform as a kid before any of this. And then when James met Terminology, Term got him into this party with DJ Premier and Redman and Static Selector and whoever else. And I was giving him shit about it. I was halfway jealous of him and halfway happy for him.
Halfway.
And he was, but yeah, no, but I was so happy for him, right? Because, he got to, have that experience. But, at this point, nothing would make me happy except a full recovery for him. So let's keep that energy.
Well said.
Yeah. And James is a trailblazer and a mentor. He inspired me to become a nonprofit for dads in South Texas. Home Depot Kids Workshop continues to be an anchor. Look at that.
So Jesus he runs a dad's group too. It's not part of City Dads. He does his as a nonprofit down in like the southernmost part of Texas before you get to Mexico. It's called the what is it? The Rio Grande Valley, something like that. But yeah, no, Jesus is someone who, I forget if I met Jesus first or James first, but we all got connected. And Jesus, like I said, his organization is different than City Dads because he wanted to be a nonprofit, but he still looked at City Dads as somewhat of an example. But we also should have looked at him as an example because his group is doing fabulous, and he hosts these different dad's mental health chats every Thursday, and yeah, he's also a teacher. So Jesus is a solid guy, and I know he loves James just as much as the rest of us. So
I'm not speaking for myself, but James has a lot of solid people around him. That's all I got.
And you can, that's sometimes how you can I heard someone, who was it? Was someone at Dad 2.0? Oh man, who was it? Someone said you're the like the 5 closest people around you, that defines who you are. That can help define who you are. Who was it who said that? He wrote a book too called Superman, Racing Superman. What was Nate?
Nate Turner.
Yes. So he spoke at one of the early Dad 2.0.
Or Nathaniel Turner. I'm sorry.
Yes. And he said something like, you're defined by the 5 people closest to you, right? And so, none of us are like, brothers with James or cousins with James or, whatever. But like you said, who you associate with is important. And the fact that all these, solid people are associated with him, it means something too.
Yeah. So we have someone else we're gonna bring to the stage real quick here. Swagger Dad, I'm not sure I met you before, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
How are you doing?
Good. I think I met you. Yeah.
Okay.
Were you there in San Antonio?
No.
Oh, in DC?
Yeah.
Probably in DC. I met you in DC.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm old and sick. And it's like a double whammy this week. So I'm sorry. But how are you doing, Swagger Dad? Nice to see you. We are all welcome
nice you
here.
You guys too, yeah.
Yeah. How do you know James, and what kind of impact has he made on your life?
I met James when I started this fatherhood journey back in 2014, I think. I met him, and once we met, we clicked, man. He was one of those guys. He's really open-minded when he meets somebody new, So yeah, we met and we clicked right away.
Yeah.
And him giving, him being already a dad, because he already had a couple of kids before I had my son. He already was a dad. So when I came in the game, I was a rookie. He was already a vet. So
okay. So he was that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was already a vet. So once I got in the game, fatherhood game, he showed me around. The impact he gave me was as far as that 0.20. He told me about them, things, little things like that. So he really impacted. I'm sorry is like this happened to him.
Yeah, you know what? You even said it, and we all know it. You got a good one there for a dad mentor. Man, you rolled up on the right street at the right time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
This guy, man, he's great. And I still have my fans out there, so that's great.
What's up,
Now,
Chad?
he even said I was an inspiration, and that's not the road you want to go up there.
Right. Listen, man, you can't beat anyone without your haters, so it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
That's how you made it, right?
Swagger, we just put this together to raise awareness that James is still with us, y'all, and he still needs some help, and we miss him. I miss everything about just interacting with him, like Chad said. Swagger, so I don't know if you've been, I don't know how you've been seeing this, but we've been playing clips of James, and I want to play one more clip for y'all. James, it's the same video, and it's funny because Barry is a friend of the show, and he's been on, and he actually does our intro, the voiceover in our intro. But Barry was like, he heard James's comment on the previous video, and he's like, "Oh man, I got to double back. You got to tell me more about this." And this is James's answer.
And I want to just focus in on something. James Lopez, you said this. You got comfortable being uncomfortable when you're going into to a VC and looking and say, "Man, I don't see any Brown brothers around, man. I can't work with you." So how did that feel the first time you had to tell somebody? Now, someone's trying to give you money. Somebody's saying, "Look, I want to work with you," but you walk in and you don't see anyone that even remotely looks like you. You had to get comfortable saying, "Nah, man, I'm good," unless you bring some other folks in here that represent me. How did that feel?
The first time is always hard, man. Like it's not easy because sometimes they're throwing money at you that could change your life. Imagine a VC coming to you and telling you, "Hey, I'll give you $100K and I don't want anything in return. All I need from you is next time when you need money for you to come to me for we could talk about the terms." That's free money. And it's very difficult. But for me, when I quit my job, I used to work for Random House as a network security officer. I did that for about 5 years. And the reason I quit my job was because I knew I couldn't rise in the ranks. So I was already uncomfortable seeing people that didn't look like me above me and knowing that I was never going to get there. So my mentor, who was actually the chairman of Bertelsmann, told me, "Yo, if you want to speak up, go create your own stuff." And that's what happened. I got to create my own stuff and I got to talk to people. And the first time I went to the VC people, I saw that they saw me for value. It wasn't about anything about money, or it wasn't about how I looked. What they thought about was, this guy is talking and we're going to give him money because he can make us money. So since I had all the leverage, it was much easier to say, "Nah, dude, we good. Like, we don't need you. We already got 10,000, 20,000 people coming to our conferences. Why do we need you?" Like that was the leverage. The leverage was ownership. By me having ownership, I leveraged everything, man. They couldn't stop me. It was that easy. Like I was the one that we did a conference at NYU, 400 minorities. One of the first conferences full of minorities. First thing I said on the stage was, "Yo, shout out to all my people for coming here. We're usually not in a room like this."
Wow.
Minorities in NYU like that. And my wife came to me and she goes, "Are you crazy? NYU is your partner and you're gonna say something like that?" Yeah, I'm gonna say something like that because they want us back next year, so I could do that.
What's the line there? What's your line between, like, what's too far for you? Because if I'm looking at me, something like that maybe I can see how somebody would say, "You're messing up your money, bro." All right, some stuff you just have to be a little bit more strategic with.
it's experience, man. Like I grew up in an era when the internet didn't exist, right? So to me, when you were on the block and you say you were going to do something, you did it. So that's the same way I look at tech, where I come in and I say, yo, if I'm going to work with people because they don't got people that look like in there, they don't respect people like me, I'm going to revert back to the 80s James that's going to say, yo, if you don't do that, I'm going to hate you. I can't hate myself, man. And I got my kids to watch me. So there is no line that I won't cross. If it doesn't fit, I won't do it. That's it. Like this, this is Father's Day weekend. Everybody's used to seeing me doing something like Good Morning America or Tamron Hall or post here and there. I didn't do shit. I didn't do anything because all the brands were coming to me asking me to do stuff that I do on a regular, but they wanted to pay me. That it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. I didn't want to represent for a brand that doesn't care about us. Yes, the money's good, but yo, like my man from California once told me, man, money's great. My family's greater. And I don't want nobody to questioning me or my family. So it took a while, but I'm there now. As you guys know me already, I don't give a damn, man. But I also have things in mind, right? Like I have backup. I got my wife who works. I got my friends that are in tech. I got my property. I got my investments. I don't got money that says, yo, screw you. I never want to talk to you. But I'm comfortable, and that's enough for me to say, yo, I came from zero. I came from welfare. I came from Section 8. Now I can survive off of 50 grand. Yo, we good. I can say whatever I
want. Talking that talk.
Principles and standards.
He was straightforward, man. He was one of those dudes. Like he didn't care what you thought about it. Like he'll tell you right away. I don't want to work with you, or I will work with you. Like it was very straightforward. That was something that me and him, we clicked on.
Danny, did you say that James was the one who told you about Dad 2.0?
What happened?
Did you tell me that James was the one who told you about Dad 2.0 and he's the reason you went? Or did you already know about Dad 2.0?
I knew about, because when I first started this fatherhood thing, a lot of things on the internet. So once I saw the Dad 2.0, I really, like he said, I didn't see nobody that looks like me. I really didn't like follow up through with it. Like it was there, but I didn't follow up through. Then when I met James, he was like, yo, you gotta go through this, you gotta go through you gotta come to this 2.0. I'm like, oh yeah, I seen that before. Is that real? Like, yeah, that's real. So he like gave me the confirmation basically to follow through. But I knew about them. Before, but he gave me the confirmation to be like, yeah, no, they look that's good. You gotta go there. Like, let's go then. So he was the one that gave me the push.
I was gonna say the last clip.
I'm sorry, Art. We'll go to Chad then. Go, Art.
I was gonna say like the last clip that he was talking about, James was, and the shirt that Jeff's wearing, presence over presence, right? The idea of there's a lot of people that think about profit over people. James is people over profit.
Exactly. Yep.
And a lot of these days, everyone's like, well, like whose neck could I stomp on to get higher on the ladder, right? James isn't about that, and that's why we all freaking love him so much.
Exactly.
Chad, you have any thoughts about that last clip?
Oh, absolutely. Because James and I used to talk about stuff like that all the time. Like, well, you know how it is in our line of work here. Some people are doing it for the money. And, from time to time, we'd have a laugh about those who are doing it for the money and what reasons they may or may not be doing it for. Just when you're in any business or sport, you kind of learn, okay, who's doing something for the money. And, so we would often laugh and joke about these things, but like everything he would sit there and he would just, in our catch-ups or whatever, like, oh, well, like I remember he was telling me about the Home Depot stuff and he would be like, hey, look, we bringing so many people there. Like now it's just got to be through my stuff. He was really good because he came from the tech world and the VC world. And in that and running these conferences, like what he did for fatherhood was the same thing he was doing for people in tech of color. Because he had done this and he was able to come into these different rooms, he realized what his leverage was. But James moved, and like you were saying, people over profit, because he moved like someone who was wealthy. Like a lot of people who would be in the VC world, or those that he was coming and bringing into tech and stuff like that. And I think about James, and something I've been thinking about. I think one of the dopest things about James, even just in all of that and that he was saying, was like, in the black and brown community, even, there's a stigma around it across the board, but just he'd be like, yo, I'm a stay-at-home dad. Like, you don't hear about too many of us who are like, I've been thinking about it so much and just where my life is at these days. Like, it wasn't a life that I chose, it just chose me. While James, it was something he deliberately chose. And that's what makes him dope.
I don't have anything to say, but y'all leaving me speechless tonight, man. I don't know what to say, but let's welcome someone else who wants to talk. I guess address this whole situation.
I gotta run out for a second and go continue to be a dad, but like I'm gonna come back and listen. So even if I'm on mute, I'm gonna step out and step back in. All right.
All right. Thanks, Chad. If we don't get to talk to you, thank you.
Good to you, Chad.
It's good. And, all right, yo, Moya, we got to talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Dessert.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Right. Making connections. James would love that shit.
All right. See you, Chad.
We'll keep him here in the green room. Yeah, and we won't keep this guy in the green room.
Yay!
Darren.
Darren, you are mute, buddy.
You're on mute there, Darren.
Wait. All right, there we go. Can y'all hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's the family. How y'all doing?
Good.
All right. How are you?
I'm folding clothes, so I'm doing the domestic thing. Got to fold my clothes, but I appreciate Jeff, dude. Thanks for letting me know, because no, I didn't see, and I'm wearing this shirt hither. Oh, you know what? Star studded. Come on now. Oh, well, I got a spot on my shirt.
It's all right. We're all friends.
Okay, I'm wrong.
Barbecue.
Okay, I can't
It's
see
just
now.
barbecue.
Okay, there we go.
It's just barbecue.
Right. As long as it's barbecue, we're cool.
As long as it's barbecue, we good.
Yeah.
This is sort of barbecue.
Okay,
I remember. So y'all know I got this group, the Unknown Black Pitmasters, right? Some of you do.
Yep.
And it has really taken off. Met quite a few famous pitmasters and things, and we even get a chance to do something later on. This year to run to do a fundraiser, but it didn't. It kind of happened because of something that Jeff reminded me that was the flow of what James did. If there was a room for you, you make room. You do what you have to do. I had an issue to where I was within a barbecue group, and it just, things weren't.
Something happened, right? Something happened.
Just wasn't working, right? And I was like, well, I really don't want to operate that way. And as I was thinking about it, and I was talking to somebody about it, Jeff, we was talking, it was like, well, what would James say? You ain't got a way. There's not a door. That's the room for you. Just make your own. So I did. Made the Facebook group. Facebook group came to, branch off to the Instagram page, and the Instagram is where, we do the live talks and everything, and got a chance to talk to people. And that was all because of, how he moved and how he left that print. You know what I'm saying? Boom. Well, yeah, it ain't that much for me as a black and brown folks, or it ain't that much. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it the way I want to do it. Then I'm just gonna do it. So we make our own table, we put our own seats, and that has worked well for me. That has worked well for me, and it's a mantra that I've heard since then. But it's a mantra that I first started to work on because of his mentality. I mean, you all together probably had more years, with talking to him and being a friend to him. Um, we did a couple of lives together, but you never know what a person's impact is and the ripple effects that they do. Even if you only get a chance to really talk with them shortly, or be a byproduct of the way that they're living. So the way that he rolls, man, it was aspiring back then to get me to this point, and it continues to do so, because at the same way, like we just saw in that clip, yeah, dude, if you're not rolling that you help my community, I don't really need your dollars. I don't really need you to use me as a token. You're gonna try to get me on free during Black History Month, but you should have paid me all year. Nah, bro, that peace to you. I take me and what I got somewhere else. So, it taught me worth. And a lot of times I don't think, especially in the Black or brown community, that we are so, and I'm, maybe going off on a little tangent here, but sometimes we're so creative in so many things we don't really understand the worth in what we do, what we have, and who we can and influence. But that taught me a little bit about worth. I don't need your dollars. I'll be all right. And if I am struggling, I'm not gonna take your dollars because I don't want you to tell me what to do. So, but yeah, man. I mean, what all of us here obviously have a story to tell. But in the time that we're here, I wanted to tell mine because I wouldn't have this logo, this shirt, this anything that's going on um, for me in this particular set of barbecue. Um, Without that initial, if you don't have room, if it's not a seat at the table for you, go on and do your own. So without that, none of this part of my barbecue journey would have gone. So I am very grateful for that, and always in the back of my head that wouldn't have happened without this wouldn't have happened without that at all. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
It's a good one, though,
That's
and
a good one.
I think that's interesting is everybody here is talking. One of the words that's been a pervasive one is everybody talking about how much they love James, and hearing men say that they love somebody else who's a guy has some weird connotations, but it's true. Like he was a guy, everybody loved that guy, and they loved him for a lot of different reasons. And he's still with us, and this is why we're doing this. We want to try to help out, and the idea of everybody loving that guy is a great thing. And I'm glad that we're all here and able to say that without having any weird connotations. It shouldn't be that way. Like we're all humans, we all love that guy, and I think that's pretty awesome.
And love is an action word. That's why here
Yeah.
again that you all hear, it's an action word. So let's put our money where our mouth is. You know what I'm saying? Let's do what we have to do. You know, everybody say, "Give me your flowers now." Well, yeah, let's get the money now. You know what I'm saying? That's
Just a
that's
quick,
that's and I think we all are in the same. I think we're all in the same mindset of that.
yeah. I just want to give everybody a quick update because I'm connected with one of his friends, Jason. I don't know if you guys met him. In the last 2 point, he went with James. His name is Jason. So I'm connected. I'm staying in touch with him, and I text him. So he texted me back, and this is what he says. Hey, what's up, brother? Update. James is home now, and he's very responsive to questions. It's still a long road, but it's looking more and more positive. So keep you posted on everything else. Peace.
Thank you. That's
Thank you
such
for
good
sharing
news.
that.
That's awesome. Yeah,
So
that makes me feel real good, and that especially since we're literally on the live stream talking about this, and to have
yeah,
that live
yeah.
update come through just now, that's
No, that
amazing.
it came through once you told me. I reached out to him, and
Oh, okay, but either way, so
yeah,
we,
he
we got it
texted me
now. Yeah.
back, and
Mhm.
I was like, okay, once I got, I'll let you guys know. So yeah, he's doing good.
Thank
Great
you, dude.
news.
That's amazing.
Love it.
Yeah. So I mean, we've got a lot of different ways with James, and I actually didn't even say that. Like, I met James through Dad 2.0, and I was aware of him, but not like I didn't really get involved with him. And then I met him at Dad 2.0, and there's just an electricity to that guy that I don't know how do you. It's one of those people you meet, and you just like you're instantly like, there is something here with this guy, and I want to. It's not like a cult leader. It's like you want to follow him. He's got such an energy to him that you just want to follow him because he's just
Yeah,
freaking got
exactly.
everything. You know, he's full of energy and full of life, and just like he's positive, and he just keeps going forward, and just you don't run into people like that very often. And you know, just I left that, like, there's a handful of people I met in my life who are like that, and he's one of them. Like, there might be 7 people in my life who I met. And I met thousands and thousands of people. He's just one of those people, man. You just like, whatever that guy's doing, I want to be right there because he's amazing.
Yeah, he was that type. Yep, he
Yep.
was contagious. Yep, definitely.
But at the same time, it was never cocky, or it was never about him, right? Because sometimes there's those people who are just energy, but it's all about me, me, me. You know, that was never James. So he balanced that perfectly with like energy, like you said, Doug, and passion, and it's bursting out of him, but it was never selfish or cocky. And that's the line that he draws perfectly.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what makes us feel so good, you know, being around him and being his friend. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. James is one of those people that says, yo, man, if you need me, I'm here. And he's really there. You know, like he's really, you know, you believe it, it's true, and it's just, I don't know. He just, you know, some people say that and you're like, yeah, man, it's cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You can just tell with this guy, it was genuine, and it really was, because so many of y'all, if you know, it wasn't even me, have reached out to him, and you know, he's just an immediate response, or you know, once he sees your message, he's an immediate response, if that makes sense, because that's really all I want out of you is once you see my message, just respond to me a little bit. Say you're gonna get back to me. Right there, and don't come to my city and don't call me right there. You know what I'm saying there? So
twice.
Shut up, Doug. You were not invited to have part of this conversation. Thank you. So anyway,
I can speak for Darren. Darren's a man of his word. He came to Dallas and he called me. So
there you go.
What did I do? Wait, Jeff, what did I do? I came in and we did what, Jeff?
We had a nice meal together and our wives met, and that was amazing.
Oh, what a concept.
Oh no. Who is this?
Victor.
AARP lunch.
Is he meaning AARP? Because I am actually a member of that, and I'm not sure Victor's old enough for that shit.
Hey, I am card carrying AARP right here.
Same thing.
Me too.
I want those discounts, boy. I want that early morning breakfast for free.
Yeah.
And hey, guys, also, you don't have to be 50 to join AARP. You could be 23, and they will give you the discounts.
Pretty much now, yeah. I mean, it's lost its little swagger because I don't know. I guess $12 a year memberships are not good enough, but and they dropped it because you know you could be 50 now, and like you said, what a younger is. I don't, you know, I want my age to mean something.
When Dr. Dre was on the cover of AARP, it's like it's acceptable now.
Right. But that's a shame. It's like, Dad, we are kind of up there now. I mean, we are. I'm at the age where the people I used to talk about, the uncles and the old people, they were this age, and I'm that age now. So
now you're the old head.
I am. I'm the actual OG. Every time I go to the car wash, dude be like, "Hey, what's up, OG?" At first, I was like, "If you don't call," I was like, "You know what? It is what it is. All right, bro. You know, I'm good, man. How you doing, young cat? I'm good. You know, so it's all good, man. This is a wonderful thing. I like that we all really have such in a world of so much negativity. It's good to find a beacon of light that somebody has such great vibes that it affects a large group of people like this. You know, like I said, some things will move beyond what we're doing, you know, as in our lifetimes. So, and James is one of the ones that his works is going to just continue to be rippled on through us, through other people, through the things that he's done, and that's kind of what we want, you know. Let's live a life that even if we're not here, is still around. That's something that we gave, that's something that we did, that's something that we imparted. It's continued to be passed and passed and passed and passed and passed. If you could do that, I think that's one of the most successful things you can do in life. We raise children, we have businesses, we do things, but if our core values, if what we stand for, if what we've done, let that legacy continue, I don't think we can ask for more.
Nope.
Jackie Robinson.
You said?
Jackie Robinson has a quote: "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." So if we think about that as applies to James, you know, how can we can't even quantify it.
Exactly.
Nas on Either said, "Name a rapper that I didn't influence." Well, for James, name a dad blogger he didn't influence, right?
Exactly.
Right. I got one more clip here. I think it's a short one. I don't think I showed this one, so if I did, sorry.
In regards to social media, I use it less more. I mean, I use it less now than ever. I'm more purposeful, right? So I look at a lot of the dad groups. You know, I say it all the time. No shade to the dad groups out there. A lot of this stuff is staged, and you know they have content, like they can create content at all times. For me, I'm more of the street guy. Like I like hitting up events. I like creating events. I like working with brands to throw events. Because of COVID, now I'm home. I can't really do that many events, but I also don't want to go on social media and see things that people are putting out there that I know they don't really do on any given day. So it's making it more purposeful. Where now I don't scroll through the timeline for enjoyment. I scroll through the timeline to find things that I really want to see or to put out content that I really care about. It's not just for like shits and giggles anymore. You know, I don't wake up just to look at it anymore because there's just too much stuff on there that'll distract you, and just can't do it. So I love social media. I'm a tech guy. I don't touch it, man. I told you guys earlier I escaped to email just because I don't want to deal with that influx of DMs and messages. Yeah.
So you don't find yourself, James, you don't find yourself doing more the videoing more, filming more, and talking more on camera now than before?
No, because remember, ever since the beginning, like I've never came into this game to become an influencer. So I don't create video content. I don't create photos. What I do is I create live events or I create written content. That stuff, by me going on social media, is actually a distraction because now I see the next guy making $2,000-$3,000 selling T-shirts while I'm out here trying to hit up a shelter to help dads that are in need. You know what I mean? Yeah. So instead of that, I just stay away from it, and that's as real as it get. Like if I use social media, it's to look at sneakers, man. To look at sneakers, that's it. It's too much fluff, man. Too much fluff. I got a business to
run. Too much fluff, man. Great.
I can rock with that with sneakers, man. I love that.
Yep. I was just about to say.
rock with that.
But that
Speaking
was
of like sneakers and stuff, Swagger Dad puts a great, like, you know, we always talk about like cargo shorts is like stay at home dad. Like Swagger Dad, if you want to look good, follow him on all the socials, man. He always says stuff that, like, if you want to up your game, follow him, man.
Exactly. Thank you.
The only problem is all those Yankees hats. That's the only problem.
Sorry.
You had to switch it out for a
you
Boston.
guys had a rough week last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm fashion challenged. Fashion was never my thing. I am so fashion challenged. It's ridiculous. I can't even look cool when I try. So I'm just it just don't work.
Yeah, but to be fair, Darren, you have an excellent fucking beard, and not people can pull that shit off. That's fucking.
Word.
You have a great beard.
Dude,
And a golden smile too.
Yep.
Now the smile. I love my smile. Yes, that is one of my favorite features, and I am very 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 what's the word I want to use? I'm very vain with my smile. Yes, I love my smile. My beard though, man, I'll be trying to get it to rock like yours, man, and Jeff's, and I can't. It's like scraggle. It's just like it just don't work. It get to one. I mean, I don't know if I need to relax it, put a little hair relax. I don't know, but I just can't do it, man. I can't. So I have to keep it, to make it look decent. I have to keep it low. I want that. That's what I want, but I cannot get that.
Jeff's like that freaking. That just
Dude,
looks great.
I cannot get that to save my life.
Mine looks like I look like the ghost guy from Paranorman, where his like hair's all bugged up. That's what I look like when I don't comb this shit down. So
man, I can't get that to save my life, man. I can't. I'm trying. I tried, but now I gave up. Now I just gave up. I gave up.
So while
But
we're on
the smile is
fashion,
not.
Well, a
while
beard
we're-
would like cover up your smile, though, right?
yeah.
Good point. Good point.
while we're on fashion here, I would love to one last say here that you can get all of well, not all because some of it's sold out, but you can get a good amount of Fatherhood is Lit merchandise here. Okay, so I'm not doing this good. Okay, here we go. That is the link down there. You can get it also at coolfordads.com. And let me scroll here. Show you those. This shirt is apparently still available. These shirts are available, presents over presents. The hats, unfortunately, are sold out. But look at those, man. They're fucking dope. And we got kids, we got used shirts too. Verified that they're all manufactured and fulfilled outside of James's realm. So it's not a burden on his family, y'all. So order up if y'all want that. I'm going to jump on and I'm telling y'all I'm going to order right after I get off the stream. So don't blame me
Hey,
if I didn't
can y'all
warn
send me
you.
those links in the email?
Yeah, we can hook you up, Swagger, or
Yeah, send me the links and the GoFundMe link so I could also spread the word. Also have it on my IG.
excellent.
Yeah.
So there's that. And
Okay, I see.
y'all, I'm sick, so I'm going to be looking to wrap this up here soon. But if anybody has any last comments, things we missed, anecdotes about James, I don't have to go anywhere. It'd just be cool to go back to my bed, which is like right behind this dumb wall here. But I can do that in 10, 15, 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. So y'all take as much time as you need. I'm not rushing this. But if people still want to talk about James, say anything about him, here the floor is yours, y'all. I don't see Chad back, but if Chad wants to come back up, he's more than welcome to. So yeah. Doug, want to start?
I mean, you came up with this idea. I just want to say Greg is the one that came up with the idea of doing this show. So thank you, Greg, for doing that. I mean, we're all in the middle of 50,000 things in our lives. So I've given money to this in the past, and I'll be giving some tonight when we're done. But it's just something where it didn't even kind of think about it. And Greg said we should do a benefit for this or like a show for this. And I was like, that is a great fucking idea. So let's do that. And, thank you, Greg, for putting this in my consciousness so we could do this. And I'm sorry you're sick, but I really appreciate you kind of pushing this forward so that we could actually, bring this back to the forefront. And everybody, listen, money can be tight. If it's something where you can't afford to do it, which we have folks who are like that, that's fine. But promote it. Put it out in your social media channel.
Yeah, give it a retweet.
give it a retweet, give it, put it out in your Facebook or your IG or whatever. At least then, if you can't, at least you're doing something maybe that can have somebody else do that. And this is about promoting awareness for it and to contribute to it if you can. And a big huge thank you to National At Home Dad Network for the big contribution. That was $500 on a live show about made me keel over. I didn't see that coming. That was great. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Thank you,
And the fact that James's name is going to live on through that fund they made.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff. Yes, Jeff. You jumped on. So what's going on?
I mean,
Party
I think
shot?
it's all been said, right? I mean, it. I hope what this showed by all these people coming on and telling different stories and having different experiences is that how broadly James affected all of us for different different reasons, different ways. We're all different. He definitely was an influence to people of color like Darren and Danny, who made him really. Danny was he was kind of skeptical about that 2.0, and then James was the one who helped him realize. And Darren said what he said nicely too. So, but then for all of us for different reasons, and I think that's the other thing is James is he was so open-minded and he just wanted to know who you were. And as much as he would say, if you're not rocking with me, I'm not going to rock with you, he at least gave you a chance, right? He didn't just make an assumption based on who you might have been, what you look like, where you come from. He gave everybody a chance to really find out who they were, and then he made his decision.
Exactly.
Right. So but yeah, that's the only other thing that came to mind as I was hearing all this amazing stuff and seeing his words and y'all's words, and is just the broad reach and how much he touched everybody.
All right.
Yeah, this just makes everything like just proof in the pudding, like how much James has an influence, a positive influence in this world, in this fatherhood, group. And to Kim, to James, to his kids, their kids, we love you guys. We're doing, we're praying for you. We're sending positive vibes your way. And like you guys said, if you can't donate or you can't do anything, like you said, retweet, share it. Somebody can. But also, too, listening to this video, listening to everybody's from all different walks of life, see how James touched everybody. Move that forward. Do that in real life. Do that not just on, socials or whatever, but do that in real life. Be an advocate for people that maybe that doesn't look like you, who might come from a different, background, whatever the case may be. Care about them, share their story, help everybody out. That's what James is about. And that would mean, I think, in the grand scheme of things, that would just again create more of a legacy that James is already, putting on in this world. So take his actions and move it forward. Whatever background you are, just keep on doing what James is doing. And fatherhood is lit, man. We all care about our kids. We all care about fatherhood. Let's raise the narrative that dads care no matter what color their skin is, and just move forward. And that is James in a nutshell, man. We love him. Hope everything goes well with him. We keep on praying for the recovery and all that good stuff. But this was great. Thanks, Greg and Doug. And again, yeah, At Home Dad Network. That was fantastic. So thanks again for letting me be on, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. This is great. You be part of this fatherhood, community, and to come together like this for a dad that was really, one of those real guys out there that was loved by everybody. This is great. When Jeff reached out to me, I was like, hey, what at what time? So this is great. I want to thank everybody, and once I get more information, I'll share it with Jeff and everybody else. I'll tag I'll tag you on IG and let y'all know his process and how he's going. So far, so good. So
thanks.
keep him in keep him in your prayers. That's all I can say. And thank you.
That's cool. Swagger Dad, I don't know if you know you probably don't know the routine here, but we do sometimes talk trash and have drinks after we end the stream. So once this all goes away, you can still stay here and we'll still be here talking. So if you would like to keep, if you would like to have our company after this, you are more than welcome. I understand if I push people off. I got
No, don't worry.
So it's cool, Swagger Dad. And lastly, and certainly not least, it's the laundry man. Darren, you can come over to my house to do my laundry after, man.
Yeah, same here.
You look pretty damn efficient at doing it, man.
I do.
Dude, it's the worst. Oh, it's the worst. I so deplore. I hate doing this, but my
So
wife
Darren,
doesn't.
you're a folder, not a hanger person.
I am both, but this is just t-shirts and the little stuff. This is the folding stuff. The hanging stuff, that's a whole different load, dude. It's a whole different load.
Yeah, you can't be hanging everything. Even though I
No,
want to.
no,
I've got big closets like Cardi B and shit. So
I don't hang jeans, I don't do that. Swagger Dad, you hang your jeans?
Nope.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Nope.
Look, the one thing, the one thing I can think and say, I mean, this was great. I wish I got in earlier. The day's a little bit crazy, and I saw the messages. Oh crap! But I'm glad. Thank you for letting me come on and say my little spiel, because I think it was important. And I think also what we need to see is important, that everyday people can do amazing things. And he's just an everyday dude who had a heart to do some amazing things, and it showed. You don't have to be at a certain level to do the thing. Jeans in the drawer that you are so well. They in my closet. They ain't in the drawer, but they ain't hung up though. I got drawer space with jeans, so But you can see that you could just be your being ordinary can make you extraordinary, and that's what he's done. So let's all remember that as we keep our jeans in our drawer and we hang them up in the closet. You know what I'm saying? And if you iron them, then I really ain't got nothing for you. Don't be doing that.
Wait, people iron jeans?
Oh
yeah. Yes. You didn't know that was a thing, dude? They iron jeans.
No, I do. I'm just being an asshole.
I mean, thank y'all for doing this.
You have something to say. Or you have something.
I love the fact that Darren can talk about something very serious. I'm like, oh, by the way, like it's just like I would love to see like someone giving like a speech or something, like go like being like talking about whatever topic, being serious. I'm like, and just like throwing like, yeah, jeans are not meant to be hung up and all. And like everyone's like, what? Where'd that come from?
There's some things on principle, like you use a top sheet, right, Doug? There's certain things principally that you have to do, and Doug doesn't listen or believe any of that shit.
I'm a rebel with a cause, my man. I'm a rebel with a cause.
Man, rebel with a cause is a great way to end up, because that's really James, and that's really who. I mean, come on, like it doesn't really get any more rebel with a cause than our boy James. So, on that note, I would suspect. Look at that. Look at that, another James influence. I mean, there's so many. And Doug is a rebel without an avocado.
Yeah.
Right. He eats avocado now, Dan. I don't know if you knew that.
Avocado?
He doesn't scream about it, but he does.
So I used to hate avocados, and now that I have a heart condition, I kind of have to eat them once in a while.
Shit happens, Doug. So ignore. Next week we have Doug. When you're done, next week we have a very special guest. The interview has already been taped, and Doug, you can tell us about it. Ignore the promo that says Jerry Richard. It's not Jerry Richard next week.
Nope.
It's Jerry Richard in 2 weeks, y'all.
Yep.
But next week is what, Doug?
Next week is somebody that I was actually surprised I was able to book. It is celebrity chef Leanne Wong,
nice.
who is currently competing on Tournament of Champions. So she was somebody who I have always thought was super interesting, because she competed on like 3 different seasons of Top Chef, produced Top Chef for 5 years. She owns 2 restaurants in Hawaii on 2 different islands. Like, she's amazing. So we only had a limited amount of time with her, unfortunately. But she jumped on and she was very gracious and really interesting and funny. So yeah, that was just something that I was fucking super. I was stoked that she agreed, and I was like, "This is really happening." It's like that whole stupid Office meme where like Steve Carell's like, "Oh God, it's happening!" Like that's how I felt when she said yeah. So yeah, it's gonna be great. So
Well
yeah,
done.
we're yeah, that'll be fun to listen to next week.
Due to her time constraints, we had to record her. But also that means that Doug's not going to be around because where's Doug going next week?
I'm going to the first round of March Madness, Art, in Albany, New York. My dream of going to March Madness, to a March Madness thing, is coming true. I'm taking my 15-year-old son. He's a big basketball head too. I have always wanted to go to them. The tickets are fucking ridiculously expensive for an opening weekend. But we're going, so I'm not going to be around.
It's the
but
best weekend of March Madness, so you're doing the right thing.
Agreed.
So do you just buy one ticket, or do you get like three games, or what do you get?
So I bought 2 tickets for my son and I. But the thing is like Albany had this thing like on Thursday, Friday. So I'm going to Friday games. You can buy 2 different tickets. Well, I don't know how that. So am I just going to watch the early games because I'm getting there at noon? I'm going to try to stay as long as I freaking can. Now I'm an old guy, so I'm not going to be able to stay till midnight and then drive 2.5 hours home. That's impossible. But yeah, so I am stoked to go watch that.
One ticket.
I always thought you got both games for the same session.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it worked when I went in Boston. You should get both games for this, unless they changed it and they want to have 2 different. Send everybody out, send new people in, and get new ticket money. But it used to be that
I could probably see
it was a session, and you got both games for whatever day you went.
Well, if it's early enough, then I will be on the show, and we'll just talk afterwards. But otherwise, I'm
read the
try
fine
to
print. Read the fine print on your tickets, man.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even do that. I just ordered them because I was happy I could get them. So
nice.
Okay, I'll deal with that shit later. Give me the tickets.
yeah. Sorry, I was like, it was one of those things. I looked at the initial price, and I initially looked at Ticketmaster, which is a mistake. Never do that shit. And I was like, what the fuck? It was like an extra $70 of fees on each ticket, and I was like, I can't do that. Like I'm a cheapskate, so like I can't look at that and go, well, yeah, it's an experience. Yeah, but that's money I can do elsewhere. I'm just a cheapskate. Growing up poor does that to you. So hey, there's a
That's no shirt. Oh, I still got like 5 of those.
Yeah, I got mine. So I got those.
Yeah, they're my gardening shirts, Art.
Nice. There you go.
Like when you like, that, and then those stinky ass shirts that stink before you even put them on.
Anyway, guys, just everybody, thanks for jumping on. Swagger Dad, I've never met you. Thank you for jumping on, but I'll tell you and doing all that shit, man. Good to meet you. Jeff, thanks for breaking your sabbatical and jumping on with us.
Yes.
And Art, of course, and Darren and Chad and everybody. And so thank you guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, y'all. We got one clip of James, and then we got the outro.
It tremendously. Like now we could actually show people that that not only are we present, but we actually love it, right? And we also get to show that that it's not soft to be a father. Like it's okay to be loving to your kids. Like now we can put it online and showcase it to the world without anybody actually coming at you, right? Like before, people would hide these things because it wasn't the norm. Now we're making it the norm, and that's pretty cool.